Hello world! WaveTime here bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So, last episode we were working on trying to get our boiler operational, but unfortunately, last time we didn't really manage to get to that point. Now, I agree with a lot of people and thought that this little thing was pretty much but ugly. So what I'm going to do is limit the space to this area. So all the diesel generators, I doubt I'm going to use that many diesel generators, so I'll just pile it up like that and maybe have this lattice moved somewhere. I'm going to have to determine that part at a later time, but really all of this stuff can stay here and, well, rot for all I care. I might move this setup. That might depend on future events. And also, this industrial electrolyzer is, well, it seems like it's finished. So we should have enough sulfur for all of our batch business and botchitude, botulistic. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to go and put our boiler here. So what we need to first do is get a bit of water for this area, and I believe I do have some buckets over here, but not buckets full of water. I suppose what I could do is maybe set up some sort of automatic bucket refilling station, and by doing that I'll be able to automate anything that requires some form of water. Probably isn't that necessary, but it might be something to add in the future when I get to that point of, well, wanting overclockers everywhere. But that's not likely to come too soon. So, let's put our aqueous accumulator down and then put a liquiduct here so that we'll be able to get some water. Now, I went ahead and crafted every piece that's going to be required for our lovely little multi-block structure. So let's go and get our boiler set up. So it's going to just require 9 of these. And I know it might be too much energy, but you know, why not have a max size boiler going right away? And it might be good to have an electric jetpack for this portion of it, or put some sort of jetpack upgrade onto my chest piece. I'm sure I might be at the that is a good source, or rather use of iridium, just using all the stuff required to get all of my modular power suit stuff going up and running. Okay, so now we're getting some water. We should have more than enough for it to run for a while, so what we're going to want to do is put the stuff that's going to be our engines. So it's going to be 18 engines for a 36 HP boiler. So just need to put it around like so. Okay. And finally, or rather, next part is the energy conduits. They'll need to be put into the correct orientation as well, but that can come after, like that. And I'm thinking for this, I'll put it like that. I like having all the engines directly on the boiler. It might not be the most space efficient, but I think it works well enough that it merits that little bit of detail. Now we need sticks, so let's get a bit of wood. Probably not going to need this many sticks, but it might be good to have them in the future. And we'll go and get some redstone for some redstone torches. Here, and you know what? Whatever. So I think for this, not really a design per se, but more of a aesthetically pleasing thing of just having all of the torches right near it, and we'll just have to, when we wrench it all into position, see how it looks. So just get my wrench out and then whack it into place. That looks good enough to me. That definitely looks good enough to me. Nice. Let's go back a bit and see how it looks from maybe on top of our chunk loader. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I doubt there's any improvements, quote unquote, we can do to that. Well, maybe making it more friendly to the eye somehow. I don't know. And we'll probably in the future just put something like that in between boilers, or we could have the boilers right next to each other. It doesn't really matter too much in the orientation in how we have that. Yeah, we're out of energy conduits, so we're not liquid ducts. I want energy conduits. So we'll probably need to do something else. And also, now that I think, yeah, this is going to be too much energy anyways. I think it's pretty much going to be agreed that this is too much dang energy. So what we're probably going to want to do is have this so that it's going to energy conduit so we can go directly. I know using about 25% of the energy just for freaking transmittal, but come on, 144 Minecraft joules per tick is a little too much for me to use currently. So, did I press U or something? Ha! There we go, I must have pressed U. So, you can just move these guys, because, wow, they're actually out. Do we... oh, crud. Okay, we're going to need to make... Did I see? Okay, that was just a trick in my eye. I thought the energy cell was in that other place. So, we're going to want to make some tesseracts. One tesseract. Let's make 2 liquid tesseracts. That will be good for all of the tesseractization of getting the fuel there. And we'll make a few energy tesseracts. But for energy tesseracts, we're obviously going to need everything else that's required for that. Energy tesseracts, okay, we need redstone, conductance coils. Let's make 4 of them. So we need to get the redstone, obviously. And we're going to need electrum, electrifying, if I say so myself. Yeah, 4 will work. And then we're going to need electrum as well. We're probably going to need, let me guess, lead and silver, correct? Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Silver and lead. Okay, that is good. So silver, lead. I said lead. There we go. And then they're probably in the wrong location, so preemptively I'm going to do that. And finally, we just need our tesseract frame, which is here. So 1, 2, let's make 4. Yeah, 4. We might as well make 4. Now the other tesseracts, the main advantage of the tesseracts, at least in this system, well, in this system, in this base, technically, we could just simply bring conduits all across the entire landscape and have it a little, well, kind of messed up, but it could work out in the end, just putting it in 3 thick walls. But it still loses 5%. This loses 25%. However, it can work cross-dimensionally, meaning that our quarry setups will require only an item tesseract, an energy tesseract, and actually that's just about it. We'll probably need some better form of ore processing to either wheedle out all the gravel and stone and etc., or actually use all that gravel, stone, etc. in other builds. Because frankly, that might be a good idea. AE autom... Yeah, we can probably automate our redstone setup, or rather red... You know what? Let's just get this stuff down and then talk while I'm going. So let's get this. We'll replace this with an energy tesseract, and this will be obviously receive only. We'll set this as what? Let's have this as our base energy. Base energy, we'll set this to frequency 10, save and set, and this will be receive only, and the send only will be there. So what I'm probably going to want to do, red power may or may not be in the pack anymore, which is a bit of a... I'm not going to argue with it because frankly it's, well, better mods or more updated mods should be given a priority. I want red power to stay in the pack. For all I know, it will stay in the pack when we update to 1.5. However, it's best not to bet on it, so I'm going to try to take all my red power solutions and change them into other solutions, such as the main culprit of this is my little setup that is back in the overworld, where I pretty much just have it so that I produce all the sand, gravel, flint, etc. I can probably make an ME system to also do that. That's probably what I'm going to want to do. Anyways, starting this boiler up, obviously there's no energy. Now there's two possibilities. We can either use our oil, or rather our liquid, our fuel. Yeah, we could either use our fuel or we could use biofuel. Biofuel I don't think I'm ready to use yet because I haven't done any tree breeding, and it does change in later versions where the sappiness does affect everything. Let's check how much each of our reserves are. Okay, we're actually going low on fuel. That's not the best, not what I want to see, and our biofuel is not the highest either. However, it's a lot more than our fuel reserves. However, what we could do is set another energy... Ooh, we could. I kind of like that idea. We could set up an energy tesseract here as well to just power the quarries, or we could have our quarries back up there and feed, maybe even feed it directly with fuel. Nah, send the fuel back over here, send it back. We need a better tank. We need a separate dedicated tank section in the, not the overworld, but in our base. Yeah. A tank for most of our major liquids. Okay, for now I think I'm going to set it up so that it requires fuel. I'll probably move the refineries. Yeah, in fact, I will move the refineries to a much better location up in the in our base. Probably going to need some sort of direct line for our fuel. I'm gonna have to figure that out at a later time, but for now we might as well set up our energy so that it is sufficient. So let's go up and get, maybe we should put some sort of buffer for our, yeah, let's put right now our nice energy cell buffer. And it's going to be a simple thing. It's not going to be a major construct, just something that I can pull out of my hat right now. So that will just be energy cell here and energy cell here. And then we'll have these things going out like that, and they'll output like so. Simple enough to do. So now all we need to do is reseat our energy tesseract. This is going to be base energy and send only. Finally, let's set up our fuel. Set. And this is going to receive only. Go. Now, we are getting fuel into the steam boiler, taking out, well, kind of a large chunk of our fuel reserves, but frankly, why not? So, now I did some math through, well, not actual math to do it, but through basic observation on how boilers work. For a 36 HP boiler, it takes 21 buckets of fuel, of actual Buildcraft fuel, for it to warm up to 100 degrees Celsius, or centigrade, whichever you want to use. Now, it takes quite a bit, and then it'll be able to produce the energy, and therefore go onwards into more refining processes. Does that make sense? Probably makes sense. Anyways, if I put 21 buckets of fuel in here, let it sit, go on, extrapolate, or whatever it wants to do, it'll be able to warm up to the 100 degrees Celsius, where it'll be able to start boiling the water, turn it to steam, and then be able to send the energy through to the other processes that are, well, requisite of everything that we need. So let's see. Do we have a tesseract there? Yes, we do. Got one tesseract there. And finally, we need one more tesseract for here. I'm going to, even though I don't need a tesseract here, I'm going to put one anyways, because we will, let's see, this is going to be received. We will want to have everything tesseract friendly, and I don't think it looks good just having energy conduits everywhere. Boom! So, I decided that I might as well continue with the fuel that I have right now, and it might be a good idea to get our base powered by, well, energy. So I brought over an energy tesseract so that it could interact with the base here, and it should be able to receive whatever it is here, unless I have it set incorrectly with the tesseracts, etc. I'm gonna have to check. No, I should check if our boiler is fully heated up, because if it's not fully heated up, that could be a bit of a problem. It is fully heated up. Okay, so it is receiving the fuel. that it needs. Okay, receive only. Good. That should be outputting, and that may be the issue right there. It was in the wrong location. So now that we'll be able to send items, or rather energy, send. We'll be able to get the refinery working back at the overworld base. Now, I know, it's not the best location for it, seeing as I'm going to lose energy anyways. Now, my argument for doing it like this instead of bringing this way back to our home base is because we already have the infrastructure here, as well as the fact that there are some other items in this base that I'd like to keep powered, such as the convenient pulverizers and all of the other little doodads that we have, such as the magma crucible, etc. Because, well, they're here, we might as well keep them there for now, and we have some supplementary powers, so if there was any sort of reason why we were to go with something, you know what? Oh, whatever. Let's charge this stuff up, and I believe that was an empty energy cell beforehand, so it means that we are highly charged up, and we are, well, kind of wasting fuel, I suppose, but it's not like that matters currently. If I'm going to put something else, I might as well put it here, so that we'll be able to put some conduits, etc. like that. That might be good, or it might be bad for all I know. So, how are we going to make our stuff? We're going to want to make a few, or rather change our stuff, because we want to get that simple machine system going. Or rather move our simple machine system. Where are we? Here we are. We have cobblestone generator, that's sufficient, but we have these two pulverizers, one to make sand, the other, and a furnace to make the glass portions of it. So what we could do is uproot this system directly. I'm thinking, yeah, we're going to want a lot of sand, we're going to want a lot of glass. So what we can do is, in fact, let's, nope, let's pickaxe you. So I'm going to pickaxe you up. Then we'll be able to get all this. We're going to have a pulverizer. We're also going to have a pulverizer here. This is also going to make some gravel, so if we need to, we can have that going as well. And then again, the gravel's not as important, though it is needed for flint. And there's also a powered furnace here. Yes, there is. So we might as well take that as well. So you're probably wondering why I'm cannibalizing the system, and the reason is because, well, I said, it's the red power issue. And also, I want it to be a bit more modular in the sense that I don't want to truck the barrelfuls, literally barrelfuls of stuff back to the base every time I need, say, a pile of dirt or something like that. It's just not that, well, useful. So, let's hook this stuff to our Applied Energistics network. So where are we going to hook this up? We got some Applied Energistics there, though it doesn't really fit well with how this is. And it's going to be a simple enough system anyway, so it's not like we need a huge development in energy. I'm going to make some more energy conduits, then I'll worry about where I can place this stuff. Okay, let's see how we're going to have this. Now I want to have it similar to how it is over there, in the fact that you have the energy creation, then you have the, well, the automated machines in front of it. Automated, less automated. At least you have access to it instead of having to go back. So if we do it similar to like that, it should be okay. So we're going to need some energy, and we're also going to need to get some ME interface stuff. So let's go and first get the groundwork to how this is going to be. We're going to want this similar to this, but also slightly dissimilar. Now, there is one thing that I didn't know before starting the ME stuff. Apparently, and this is something that you may have been screaming at me about, but I never listened, screaming about, but apparently, the ME stuff, you can use facades on them, which is quite powerful because I can hide all of my ME wires like this, just sub in the floor. That would be a lot better than my current setup. So interface. I do not want an interface, however, I want a bus. So let's throw this under our bus, and we're going to want, let's go 2 of these, and we're going to, we already made 2 of those. Good job, good job. Glad I could help. And we'll make 3 of those. Oh, those actually created themselves very quickly. I'm surprised. And we're also going to need a bit of energy, which will go here. And that should be good. Okay, so let's bring the energy. Not going to go with anything really special. In fact, let's go directly off of the assembly line, so to speak, like so. And that'll be good. That'll give the energy for the 3 machines that we have, and then we'll use some interfaces. So we're actually going to need one more thing. So pretty much the machines are going to work as follows. We're going to want each and every single machine. What we want them to do is only have, or rather only work until there's a certain amount inside the system. So we're going to use something called a level emitter. So let's pull that up and pull that up in here as well. This is a level emitter. It requires ME cables, processor, and redstone torches. Imagine that. We got redstone torches. It's like I foresaw it. No, I didn't actually foresee it. I was just too much of a dumbass to realize that. So we're going to make the level emitters, which is going to require some pre-processing. So 3 of those. Let's see. Do I have my redstone torches? No, I don't, but we might as well wait for those to finish creating. La 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 la. Hello? Hello, there we go. With just one of them, that'll be enough for us. So we're going to also need our redstone torches. Going to need a bit of iron in our diet. And then we're finally going to need ME cables. And we'll go with 3 of these. Might be good if we actually have more ME cables than that, chum. So these level emitters, when you, let's actually put them down and see what they do. Put them down here. Here, yeah. Okay, and we'll need to probably get our wrench. Yeah, here we go. So if we access it, you can see that there's a slot for an item, and there's an emit when levels are above the limit and emit when levels are below the limit. So for instance, if we wanted to make, say, glass, and say we wanted 512 in it, this will emit a redstone signal as soon as there's above 512, or maybe it's when it gets to 512 glass. So let's get a powered furnace here, and we're going to want to have the output here. So put that there, and we'll set this output down. And say for consistency, we'll put everything else as like that, so we'll be able to input stuff in here. Now we'll want sand into this powered furnace. So all we need to do is set this for sand over here. And we got a lot of sand, so that's actually a good thing. We'll put that there, and we'll put sand as something that it'll want into here. So this will flood with 64 sand and continually go smelt all of it until it's done. So now let's put these in, and we have 2 more machines that we're going to need to work on. We got another pulverizer. This will pulverize cobblestone into sand, and we'll have this so that the outputs are at the bottom. So let's put that there. And there we go, double output. And there we go. Okay, so this will produce sand and gravel, though the primary use is sand. So then we'll just import sand, or rather cobblestone, into here. As much cobblestone as we want, and we'll make sure that there's 512 sand. I'm not too sure if there's actually something that requires sand. I'm not too sure about that, but might as well keep that there. And then we'll just have that there. And finally, say we need flint, we'll then pulverize and get flint, which is, once again, a very easy or trivial thing to do. So input into here, and all of the rest of this goes away. And finally, we're going to need to remove that temporarily. It goes into here. And where is our flint? Do we have any flint as a reference? Yes, we do. That's good, and we'll want gravel. Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive, we have too much gravel. I set the quarry so that it's gravel, set it so that it will be able to basically take gravel out of there, but or rather put gravel into the system instead of having it voided. But well, technically it's dumped into lava, but let's go with voided. I don't want to avoid it, and then we'll just put gravel into here. We've got enough gravel, I think. We might be able to use it for something else, but let's see. Okay, so now all we really need to do is hook this up. Now let's put that there and that there. We just need to hook this up, and then it should connect. Okay, now we have all the stuff in there. Now you're probably wondering, how are we going to stop this? Well, it'll emit a redstone signal whenever it has this amount of items in the system. And, doesn't actually have anything in there. Oh, hey, look at that! It'll emit a redstone signal as soon as it gets to that point, and it's enabled low by default. So whenever there's a redstone signal, these things will stop their processes, therefore nothing else will be produced. A fairly simple way to do things. Now that we have applied energistics, it's probably a bit better than doing the red power method of creating this. So now we have a simple machine. And I think it doesn't look as ghastly as that diesel generator, and we'll be able to get all the glass that we need, assuming that this actually outputs downwards. It's not taking it. That's very odd. Does it need to take it from the side? Or is there some other thing? Let's just check the other machines. Did we use this before? Or are we going to need to... Sakapepe. We're probably going to need to use some sort of intermediate step, such as chests or something, to be able to do that. So I'm going to just replace the bottom stuff with chests instead and move those things over. Okay, let's quickly do this. So iron chest there to divide, and then we'll be able to just put those there, and supposedly this will work quite nicely, be able to take all the stuff from the chest and transmit them to the system, assuming that this dumps down. Okay, now it is dumping down, and in fact we are home free. We're just going to need to pretty this up by taking this out of the equation and put some facades on this. What's required? Ooh, that actually looks kind of nice. Having all of that down there, kind of looks industrial. And it seems we are done with all of the glass. We have our, well, at least we should have 512 glass at least in the system. So let's check the glass, and we're over 512. Therefore, this part of the design is no longer necessary. I think that's working out quite well. And obviously we can just auto craft all of the smooth stone and circle stone bricks that are necessary if it's going to be required for any sort of building and design and stuff like that. So one final thing I want to just quickly test before ending the episode is, well, I think we got everything that we need to do for now. Just need to generate a bit more UU matter before starting that. Is we're going to test if the facades indeed work how they're supposed to. So I'm just gonna go like that and see. Baba. Oh, does it work on F? Yes, it does. Now the only problem is that I'm not able to take off the facade. Maybe if I... Nope, not able to take off the facade at all, though I am able to interface with any part of it just by clicking through the facade. Maybe I can just click the facade itself, and that does... Okay, so the facade makes it so that it's part of the block. So we're able to facade up the areas so that it... Even if we do this, can we put it on top of there? We probably can. Let's see if it goes through. So like that and like that. Okay, the ME cable does go through the facade, even though this looks a lot better than what it was before. So we know one way to make the ME project a bit better. I'll probably make a bunch of facades and put them all of these ME cables down one level so that we can get everything facaded up. Wow, I'm not having any qualms about saying facade so much. I think we're done here. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. We can also do it with this, though it might be a bit more difficult. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.